What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, fam? What's happening, man? Y'all know who it is. It's your host. Ooh, got too close there for my own good, didn't I? DVP. And I'm here with Random Thoughts. Get a little paperwork together. What's going on, sir? I actually need to talk to you after the show. I'm gonna inbox you my number. I like your post. You're a smart brother. I want to have a conversation with you. I don't even want to mispronounce your name. Ajay, maybe? What's the phonetic spelling for it? Well, peace, brother. I really like your page, man. We really do need to talk. Hey, Alethea, how you doing? Kathy, what's going on? Like that tie? I was going to ask you. I'm going to be changing ties all throughout the show. Patrick, what's good? What's good? All right. I'm so glad you're here too, because you actually can help me with this. You can help me with the first part of it. You can actually help me with both part of the topics. I want to pronounce your name, and I sure don't want to get it wrong. Give me the phonetic spelling. What's up, Ernest? Team EMI in the house. Y'all know what Team EMI do. We do Future Gents. We doing stuff for the boys, getting them to come on up. So y'all know what we need. You know what I'm saying? Let us know. We coming to a neighborhood near you soon. All right. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Teresa. I can't stand up, bro. It's a long story. I can't stand up. For sure. Hey, but give me the phonetic pronouncing of your name, because I don't want to say it wrong, bro. I hate when people mispronounce my name. So is it Ajay Tahimba? Is that right? I hooked up with this brother through another man. Ain't nothing like intelligent brothers. Ain't nothing like intelligent brothers. Ernest, that's a brother we need to hook up with. I think he's in New York, but the brother's full of knowledge and wisdom. I gotta give him credit. I like going to his page. Hey, Sharon. All right, as y'all know, I said, because so many brothers say they can't do ties, let me just I'm doing this in reverse order because I'm supposed to show y'all something else first. But here we go, from scratch. I don't do clip-ons, all right? And I know I'm going a little fast for some of y'all, but hey, just catch the show in super slow-mo. I like to get that little flip in. Make me feel like money. Ernest, make sure you start doing this, bro. I know future gents know how to do this, so it ain't no reason that the old gents ain't got it down. You see, you don't need a whole lot. You can multitask and do this as a whole thing going on. You know what they say? Don't dress for the part you got, dress for the part you want. That's a little crooked, I can't see it, but y'all get the point. With a mirror and some time, I got it right. All right, so let me start this off. You have it. Yeah, I learned how to do it from YouTube. All right, y'all know how we start the show. This is the infamous door. I'm not locked out. This is the bathroom. Hey, for those y'all ain't old enough to remember Flintstones, y'all ain't gonna never get why I do that. But once you watch the Flintstones and you see Dino, y'all know what it is. And of course, we got the blue. Let me get a good sip in to start the show off. What's going on, Grady? John L. Kai, what's happening? Happy belated birthday to you. So I got some different color ties. If y'all see, this is just for the blue, because I figured it wouldn't be right for me to. I do, Chuck. Hush your mouth. I just felt like doing different ties. Anyway, let me just let me get the show started off right. Y'all know I'm running a little behind. I almost didn't make the show. This almost turned into DVP After Dark. I ain't even going there with y'all because Kai here and she gonna fuss at me, and I don't want to get fussed at today. Bow ties is truly what's up. All right, but check this out. Let me start off with my personal event. All right, for those that ain't been paying attention, Facebook is threatening to shut me down because they don't believe that DVP exists, even though they let me create a whole radio show page with it. So I don't know how long this is gonna last. But for those y'all that ain't came to the Random Thoughts with DVP page yet, which is at the top of the screen for the feed that you following, click on it. You can come join the chat there, which is what I would much prefer, because I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to do it from my page. And if you ain't liked the page, I need you to like the page. And after the show, or whenever, leave me a review. I'm trying to get some sponsorships so I can get to a radio station. And I'm prepared to start doing live events and having a studio audience. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Ernest, there you go. You're so wrong. Y'all know every time you say blue, I got to get me a sip. All right. But Facebook. Here's my problem with Facebook. Facebook does all this stuff, and they don't want to tell people when you're close to them. What's up with all these little prostitutes or phone sex operators, and all these friend requests from these people that don't exist. Facebook got a thing against nudity and all this other stuff, and these people exist, but you threatening to shut my page down. I mean, I've been in existence for 4-5 years. What's up? What's up, Shay? How's everything going with you? Leonard, what's going on in Houston, man? I hope everything is looking up. Need for you to get it better so I can come on up there. I need to make that trip. Timing, we need to go to Philly. Make that happen. What's free, Ernest? The blue? Hey man, I'm not finna with you today. I'm not. Hey. Alright, so yeah. What's up with all these prostitutes? And what's up with these chain letters? Oh my God, I hate chain letters. Let me just say this. And this won't affect a lot of y'all. That's what's up. If you don't talk to me on a regular basis, don't inbox me some video talking about make this go viral. Or if it ain't on your page, why would I want to make something go viral that you don't even deem important enough to put on your page? Because if it's important to me, I'm going to put it on my page and I'll tag people. I don't inbox people important stuff. And all these super secrets about the Donald, about Obama, about whatever it is. Do y'all ever do fact checks? And don't get me wrong. I put a couple of things on my page that weren't, after I checked, they were factually inaccurate. And I took them down. As opposed to letting them keep going on and on and on. Because I'm going to get into when I talk about the blackness, I'm going to get into that about why we so quick to judge each other without all the facts. As a matter of fact, that's probably what I'm going to start off with and end up with group economics because it's going to probably take a little bit longer. It spammed most of it, Ernest, but I actually do have some people that sent me some stuff. And when I sent them, oh, I didn't know, I thought this was recent. I'm not going to talk about NFL. I'm going to talk about group economics, though, and boycotts and the blackness. I'm not... Ernest, you're not going to get me in trouble with the NFL story. No. I'm already upset my Patriots lost. Did anybody say blue yet? Tommy, can I get you to say blue right quick? What's up? Oh, so y'all going to deprive me of this show. Y'all going to let... Lydia, what's going on? All right, make it happen. So, I'm confused on what Facebook is doing. I'm confused on what we doing. There you go, my man. Times 2. This stuff right here, it ain't even got nothing to do with the show. I just like drinking it. If they ever pay me for it, ain't no telling what my show is going to be like. Ernest, I ain't playing with you. Kai watching. You know how she is. You know Kai thinks she my big sister, even though I think I'm the oldest. Can all y'all hear me pretty good? Hey, DeAndre, how you doing? All right, man, what's good? What's good? All right, so, the modeling thing is still going good. I actually got some readings for a couple of for a web series and the movie that's coming up. They'll be this weekend. One is Friday. Yeah, both of them might be Friday. Well, one is gonna do remote. One I gotta actually go to. So I might be coming to a big screen sooner. You from KC? Oh, you hating, Leonard? Let me block you now. Oh, and let me not forget before I get in trouble with the boss. I got the Sweet Album Music Fest. I'm gonna be a model. I ain't made it the signature model yet, but I'm working there. I'm working there. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna end up being at the end of the line. That's one of my goals before the end of the year. What's up, Veronica? So ain't nobody studying you, Learn. I don't care nothing about no KC. But you know what? I appreciate it because y'all started last time. Y'all put a beat on us and we made the world pay for it. So I'm good with that. Robert Stafford, what's good with you? Let's talk about let's talk about group economics first. Or would y'all really talk about blackness first? I'm not doing the NFL, Ernest. I'm really not. Y'all want to talk about blackness or group economics first? Because I need for us to start having a plan for succession. There's nothing wrong with being mad, but be mad with a plan. What's up, Anna? What's up, Charles? And I still ain't seen The Godfather. This man took my black card because I ain't watched The Godfather. Dorsey, what's good with you, man? How's life out there in them streets? All right, let's talk about group economics and blackness. All right, somebody asked a question, and I don't know why y'all pick me for certain things, but it's like, D, why don't you support black businesses? And I'm trying to figure out where you get that from. I put black businesses on my page. Hey Angela, if I go to them and they do a good job. Now I'm not just gonna put you on my page just because you run a black business. My tax guy, black. Two of the ladies that come on here to give y'all information about finances are black. Now, I don't use them. I've got advice from them, but I have my own tax guy who I've had for over 20 years. If I didn't have him, I would use one of them. But my tax guy, Ricky Clements, I always talk about him. I put him on my page. I try to put y'all on to Honeylanders and Varshay Fountain because they got good information as it relates to finances. So I'm all about supporting black businesses. My mechanic, Fletcher, is black. Future Gents, Team EMI, is black. Even though Team EMI, well, I take it back, Team EMI is black. The events we do, when we do the 100-man walking, it's open to everybody. But Future Gents and Team, I mean, they're black companies. Okay? I am pro-black to a fault. But one of the signs I saw a while ago, hey Mac, what's going on? Is blackness about awareness. Blackness is not just about color. It's about awareness. I cannot support a black business that does not value my dollar. And my support, I'm not going to go bankrupt because you don't want to do group economics. And I told y'all, my private chef, that's right, Tommy is black and he's good at what he do. He gonna do a show and we're gonna do some alligator. But one of my associates opened up a bookstore. Harper, what's going on, man? And I want to support this brother, so I'm gonna go buy a book from him. And what happens is, the book I want to buy, this is my work phone. The book I want to buy is like, I'll give you just round numbers. It's $21. Now, at the other, I want to say I went to Barnes and Noble first. It's $7 at Barnes and Noble. It's $7 at Barnes and Noble. My associate has the same book for $21. How can I realistically, as a family man, support this brother who is charging me 3 times as much? And I got to hear the story about how his rent is higher, how he got how his bills are higher, he can't compete with chain stores and yada yada yada. And I can appreciate that. What's going on, Rebecca Lee? But I don't understand how what's that got to do with me? Because it is financially, fiscally irresponsible for me to pay $21 for a book that I can get for $7. Now, I didn't expect him to beat Barnes and Noble. If he'd have charged me $10, I would have been okay with that, to help a brother out. But to pay $21 for a $7 book is tantamount to being stupid. And that's crazy. DP, you have to understand that we don't get products at the rate that... And that's fine, which means you need to figure out what you need to do to compete with them, because my dollar is valuable to me. See, if gas is $3 and my black friend buy a gas station, he's going to charge me $4, see, I can't support him. He need to figure out something else. And that's why your business plan is so important, because a lot of times, and this ain't with everybody, but this is with a lot of us, we don't plan for business. We just hope our friends going to support us because they tell you they're going to do it on Facebook and they tell you this lie to your face, but they can't get you what you want. Hey, Albertina, long time no see. So when you're trying to do business, you need to know what your competition is charging. And I ain't saying you got to beat them, because if you got a superior product, you really don't have to beat anybody, but you have to be competitive. You can be a little bit more. I do bodyguard work. I can tell you now, I'm not the cheapest one on the market, but I don't advertise either, because when you get me, people already know what they're getting. They come to me. I don't Facebook advertise. I don't have a yellow pages. I don't even have business cards, because I'm not out trying to get everybody's dollar. I know that I'm only for a select few, and that select few is usually word of mouth. But you'll go to a sporting event or a club and pay 3 times as much as you would. And you're right, Rob, but that's why I don't go to clubs and drink, because to me, drinking in a club is tantamount to being retarded, because you pay, what, $7 to $10 for a top shelf drink. Well, this is top shelf. A bottle, I think somebody was thinking blue. A bottle will last me a long time. So for me, I don't get it. I know people want to go out and drink, and I ain't got no problem with that. But when you spend all this money, and that's how you work, how you manage your money is on you, and I don't have a problem with that. But when you start asking me to blow my money because you think I got it, well, truth is I do have it. But you know why I got it? Because I don't blow it. You're right, Gray. The top shelf is off my shelf because I'm about the best for me, and the tequila I like, a big thing, costs $35. and I can get many glasses out of that. I can get many shots out of that. Well, if I go to a store, they're charging me $10 a shot. And I seen Bar Rescue. They plan to they can get 15, 20 shots out of it. So at $10, that's $200, which is, you get bottle service. I'm not a bottle service kind of guy. I got friends who are. I don't knock them. It's just not for me. I'm trying to tell you, this is a commercial break while we move through the show. I'm going to keep this on since y'all seem to like it. But yeah, bottle service is not for me. I'm that dude who's going to go to the club before they start charging because I don't see paying $10 to get in. Now, don't get me wrong. I will have a drink because I'm going to support your business. I don't want you to give me nothing for free. You ain't even got to give me a discount, even though most of my friends are, because I bring people with me. So the fact that I bring people with me means that Ernest, you got me messing up. Stop playing. The fact that I'm bringing people with me means I'm bringing in more business. So yeah, they do offer me something for that. So what do we do? Because most black business will be more expensive. And it's not a problem with being more expensive. It's just being way more expensive. Leonard, no business cards. Heck, it was hard enough to get a name out of you. Hush your mouth. Erica Jackson, what's going on? I've always loved your way of thinking and good lives. Come on, Erica Jackson, have you liked my page yet? Once again, y'all need to go to Random Thoughts with DVP. Because Facebook trying to shut me down. I think it's the competition. I ain't even going to blame it on the man like so many of us do. But anyway, back to group economics. When you want to do something and you know that you're not getting the best prices, you need to combine with other business people and do the same thing out of one event. Who is Dr. Perry? And I'm going to tell you something. Ernest just did something. He invited us to an event. And to me, I would have never assumed that so many people like this could get along. Hey, Carl, what's going on? But it's at the top of the page, Erica. Just click on that link, Random Thoughts with DVP. Like the page. Actually, that's where you should be watching the show from. I'm going to tie the bow tie slow just for you, Grady. But Ernest got all the models together, all the male models. We did a photo shoot, all right? Which is what, we normally do photo shoots for Team EMI because that's what we do. But what was there was a bunch of different photographers who are not a collective for one company. They each do their own thing. But you got 20, 30 models there. So every photographer can do his own thing. But all of us are there. All the photographers are there. There's no clashing. We changing suits, we changing sets, we changing scenes. But you got 5 or 6 photographers in a rented space because they rent the space to take the shoot. See, so that means one photographer, and we're going to just round numbers. Let's just say one photographer ain't got to pay $100 for the place because there's 5 of them. That means 5 of these photographers can pay $20 a piece. And there's 20 models. So for what they could have did, one photographer could have ran through all us and still had some time left. But now there's 5 photographers, so nobody's left sitting around. The models are constantly moving, and it's a productive event. That's group economics, whether it was planned that way or not. But to have all those photographers there, it's no different than, and I start looking at it when we do fashion shows. When we do the I don't know what they call it. When you go to the audition, there's a bunch of designers there. All of them come and they pick from all the models. This is group economics, as opposed to Mars Antonio renting out a spot so we walk for him, and then Fats Clothing doing one, and Ken doing one, and oh my God, and Dwight Eubanks. Ernest, help me out. I'm forgetting people's names already. But as opposed to all of these designers doing their own audition, they all come to one audition. That's group economics. That's something that we've got to get into, as opposed to quit thinking that everybody is hating. Because people ask me about their business plan, I ask them, do you plan on doing this with somebody else? Because what you're talking about may cost you too much. What's up, sis? Hey, Kativa. I see you moving to Ohio. And that's what we've got to do sometimes, is combine businesses at the same location so that we decrease LA Pink. I don't have a bracelet. That's whose bracelet I had last time. I was doing something else. So y'all see I'm kind of flossing. Anyway. So when we're doing group economics, we have got to start trying to work together, especially if you want to compete in the world. Now, once you build up your clientele and your base, then you can move out. But very rarely do you see one hairdresser at their own salon. They're a salon with other people. This helps decrease their costs that they can pass on to you, because I'm not singularly trying to support your business. That makes no sense. And one of the arguments I had with one of the people was, I want to support you. I really do. But if I'm looking at what good you're doing to the community, if you're a small business owner, in truth, who works for you? Are you hiring my child, or are you bringing in your family to my neighborhood? And don't get me wrong, it's still a small business, but who are you supporting now? Because if you're not bringing jobs in my neighborhood, but you want me to support you when you can go to another neighborhood, you actually kind of working against yourself, to me. Okay? So that's one of the things that you gotta, why y'all did wrong, that you gotta work against. All right, here you go, Grady. This is just for you. You gotta consider the impact on the neighborhood. The more you impact the neighborhood, the more you can get out of me. Group economics. Yes, I love to tell this story. You know, back when I was a cop, I met with the local drug dealers because I had a question for them, because I want to know. Because everybody claim they old school and they understand the hustle. Well, I'm old school and I understand. I'm bringing this to the next casting call. Well, if y'all making all this money that y'all claim that y'all making, why ain't y'all buying this grocery store, turning your money legit, but getting some of these kids off the street by hiring them? You got cashiers, you got stock boys, you buy a grocery store. And I don't care what your credit score look like. If you go to AM, that's my hood coming out. If you go to AM Bank with $20,000, $30,000, they gonna give you some money. So if 4 or 5 y'all get together and y'all take $30,000 to Bank of America and tell them you want to buy the grocery store, you with me, Grady? They gonna give you some money. So now you can open up this grocery store in your neighborhood and you can employ 30 or 40 of the neighborhood kids. See, that's what drug dealers did back in my day. I ain't glorifying them, but they went out tearing the neighborhood up. All right? And that's all I'm telling you guys, is that it's a way to make a business from everything. Ernest got a plan coming. And me and Ernest don't run in the same circle. Ernest knows some people. I know some people. So to make our plan work, I'm bringing all these people together. Same thing like my nieces on here, Courtney. We bringing stuff together because everybody individually has something. But there's something that's not the winning something until they combine it with some more winning something. Then as we bring in people, Ernest bring in his group, I bring in my group, Tommy bring in his group, everybody brings something in. Now we got a big collaboration and we can make more because we've combined so many resources, as opposed to thinking that we got to compete against each other. Oh, I want to do this. I want to shut Ernest down. So now as opposed to working with Ernest, I'm working against Ernest. So now people, the few people that we do have in common, we force them to make a choice. Some of them are going to stay loyal to one of us. Some of them are going to stay neutral to both of us and just drop out of the equation, which means we both lose. When they pick a side, we both lose, because where we could have made 50-50, we're either going 100 or nothing. Who does that work for? So we talking about group economics and blackness. And I give y'all an example all the time when I watch the show about the 5 millionaire white guys who lived in a house together. And they did that by choice because they figured when they met Miss Right that they were going to move out and get something together. So why get something? And we run into this situation. I see it on Facebook all the time. If you, and this is just for the fellas, you can do it either way. But fellas, if you meet a woman, if she got a house, you got a house, whose house do y'all move into? Somebody got to sell a house. So that situation plays itself over and over and over and over and over again. If neither one of y'all have a house, then y'all can get a house together. Nothing to sell, nothing to try to get rid of, nothing to hold on to. I said, I stayed with my mom when I got my divorce because I was a traveling man. And everybody was criticizing me for that. But I'm saving money, which is the American hustle. I could have had my own house, my own apartment, whatever, but I'm on the home 10, 15 days a month. So for the other 15 to 20 days, I'm blowing money because I'm paying for something that nobody's using. And most of us don't want roommates for whatever reason because we need this, this, and this, yada, yada, yada. But most of us working. Most of us don't spend most of our time at home. So a roommate really ain't that bad a thing to have. Get you a decent apartment. You can soundproof. Cut the music up. Tell them to get earplugs. Figure it out. But anyway, without group economics, we're killing our own self and we're still blaming everybody else for it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the government, history ain't responsible for some of what has gone wrong with us. But how long are we going to sit back and keep crying and being a victim? How long? We kings and queens in one post, then the next post we victims. Make me understand, which one are you? Are you going to rise above and fix it? Or are you just going to keep wallowing in the mud, hollering, woe is me? Oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. And this is going to be my segue. I'm not going to get into it now, but I'm here to tell you. See, I'm a project baby. I didn't have nothing. I joined the military. I don't care how you feel about the military. I joined for good reasons. I don't regret the reasons that I joined. If I had to do all over again, I would still join the military because I believe in what it stood for. And people say they ain't never did nothing for you. Well, I don't know what you think, because some of y'all ain't never been in the military. But the military has taken great care of me. The military helped me get my first house. The military will give me benefits that none of y'all are getting. Now, I know they ain't doing a lot of stuff for other people. They not handling the PTSD well. But when I joined, nobody knew anything about PTSD. So yeah, they're a little slow to catch up, but I still get benefits. Now, how many of y'all can say that? Okay. Plus, I fought for something I believed in. Now, people say, oh, the flag don't do this. Again, anybody that want a job at the post office know who get preference? Military people. So the military does do something. Now, people love to talk about things that they don't know because of what they hear. But anyway, move beyond the military. I left the military. I became a cop. Now, I became a cop for the wrongest of reasons. I tell anybody that. But I stayed for the right reasons, because now I'm on the inside. I can help people that don't understand the law, people who are afraid of the law. And I hear people talk about cops, yada, 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 yada. But that's how I feel about you if you hate for generically for cops. Because for you to say all cops are bad is no different than you being mad at cops for saying all blacks are bad because they listen to rap music, they see fucking YouTube and TMZ and all these dumb videos of us fighting. What's the difference? So if you want to label all cops bad, don't get mad when they label all blacks bad, because it's the same dumbass mindset. It's a few. And of course we always recognize the few as the majority, because that's what we do. That's the internal racism where we want to blame everybody but never take any blame. But once again, I'm not finna get deep into that. I'm just telling you my experiences. I've helped a lot of people as a cop who didn't understand the system, who were brainwashed by people that look like them into thinking the system would never work for them. The system will work. You just have to use it. You can't play catch up. That's just life. You can't get caught doing something then try to be the good guy. When you see things ain't going right, you got to know what you're doing then. I have people who've inboxed me. I've told them how to go after corruption when something happened with them. But you got to inbox me real facts, because I'm going to do my little homework and check. And if your facts, the facts that I get don't match what you're telling me, I'm going to have to call you out on that. Because it don't work for everybody. But once again, let me stick with group economics first. And then we're going to switch over to everything else. This is our country that our ancestors built. It's just being run by the wrong people. Okay, Leonard, group economics. It's being run by the wrong people because too many of us would rather fuss than educate ourselves on the voting process or even candidates. And that's our fault, because it's so easy to complain about something than to do something. And I'm listening to people. Okay, this is just for Ernest. All right, I have no issue with Colin Kaepernick not standing, not putting his hand over heart or whatever. That's what I spent my time in the military for, so that everybody can have a choice as to what they want to do, because this is the land of the free, home of the brave. I'm cool with that. What I'm not cool with is him being an advocate when he's not even a registered voter. It wasn't that he didn't vote because he didn't want to. He didn't vote because he couldn't. So for him to sit there and have an opinion, dude, it's cool that you bringing up an issue, but what can you do about it? At a non-voting level, there ain't shit you can do about it. So I don't give you the same weight in totality, because you can't even fix the system if you wanted to. You can talk a good game, but please believe, when you're a non-voter, nobody cares, because you can't affect a lot of people. Vote. Exercise your right to vote. Learn about your candidate. Now, we got to educate ourselves. We have to. And we have to educate each other. My hashtag, each one teach two. I criticize people who voted for Barack Obama simply because he was black. That's a form of racism. If you don't know what he stands for, you just vote for him because he's black. And a lot of times, I'm not saying this about Obama because I didn't have a problem with him. There's some things he did that I didn't like, but that's with every politician. Nobody does everything that we like. But if you don't know what you're standing for, you just doing it on color, then you ain't no different than the people who voted for 45. They doing it based on color. So on the federal level, most of us don't make enough money to count. I know people who voted for 45. I don't degrade them. I understand why. Because financially speaking, he upgraded a lot of their portfolios. But for those of us who are in the smaller income brackets, we don't get that. And you can say what you want to say, but most of us base our lifestyle off money. So if 45 could get you to $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, some of y'all would have did the same thing. It's cute to say that you wouldn't. People who ain't got shit always say they wouldn't do something. But money changes people. And if you got a lifestyle and a family, that's who you working for. And you're right, Ernest. Racism has power. And if we always talk about how much power we got, how much money we got, that while we talking about the money and power we got, but then we can't be racist. We can be. And we do it to each other. We do it to everybody else. Hey, what's up, Tasha? What's up, Demario? What's up, Betty? So the thing is we can't be victims and kings at the same time. We can't cry and then talk about how great we are. Either fix the system or shut the fuck up. The first step is education. And the only problem I have with self-education timing is that we self-educating off of Facebook. We not self-educating off reading materials. And this is one of my questions right here. Most of y'all over 30, yes? And this is, Ernest, this is for you. This is strictly about the NFL. Strictly. This is my one statement and I'm going to move on. Most of us in here are over 30. Most of us in here have kids. Have you taught your kids the Negro National Anthem? If we don't like the anthem so much, you know, when they play overseas in other countries, they sing two national anthems. They sing the American National Anthem and they sing that country's national anthem. If we don't like it, why don't we break out and sing the Negro National Anthem? Y'all remember Lift Every Voice and Sing by Langston Hughes? Anybody? Have we taught it to our kids? So most of us haven't. Who do we blame that on? Voting don't. It matters. It matters, Stafford. I ain't gonna never go there. Trump lost by the largest popular vote. Where you get that from? Trump did not lose by the largest. No, buddy. You're getting bad information there, Stafford. Obama beat the brakes off of somebody. It ain't Trump. Understand this. And if you don't understand the Electoral College, then you won't get it. The Electoral College stops huge states from running the election. So, no, he lost. It was strictly by the votes in California, which the Electoral College is there to prevent from one state overrunning everything else. So, I'm not sure where you got that he lost by the largest popular vote margin in history, Stafford. Say it again, Ernest. In one state, Ernest. And it ain't a fixed system. The fix with Robert is, understand this now, if you follow the election, Hillary lost to Bernie Sanders. But because Bernie wasn't a true Democrat, and the Democrats admitted this, that they took the election from Bernie because they thought that Hillary could beat him. So when you lie, you cheat, steal, yada, yada, yada. The Democrats didn't respect its voters enough to give them their wishes because Bernie Sanders won the Democratic nod. But the Democrats say, no, we're not going to pay them no attention. We're going to push our Hillary agenda. So I think they kind of got what they got. Hey, Mimi, what's going on? How's California treating you? So this whole election was screwed from the beginning because the Democrats got beside themselves and thought that they could be anybody. Right, but I'm saying the Electoral College was made so that you couldn't have Texas, California, and New York. What's the three largest states? So that they couldn't control the elections. Which I mean, I don't have a problem with, because you can't let one state do it. It's on a national level. But Hillary should have never been a candidate. It should have been Bernie Sanders. I think everything would have been totally different. So I hear what y'all saying, but you can't ignore what the Democrats did by taking it from him, thinking that they knew better than everybody else. So the Democrats went down a dark path. They tied their hitch to Hillary, and it backfired. Be careful what you ask for. Me, I didn't vote for either one of them because I thought you got Satan and you got Lucifer. Yeah, we'll do that. So I didn't get it. But anyway, back to the NFL. Are we teaching our kids the Negro National Anthem? Or is it something that we don't do anymore? Or do we blame the white man for that? Do we blame our preachers? Who do we blame for not teaching our kids the Negro National Anthem? Because most of us know it. Most of us have heard it. How come our kids don't know it? Hey, what's going on, Melissa? You stood me up too, didn't you? Why don't our kids know the Negro National Anthem? Anybody got a good answer for me? Anybody? Lift their voice and sing. Anybody remember that? I'm gonna post a link on my pages later on. But why don't we know the Negro National Anthem? See, whenever I bring that up, people want to get quiet because that's not a system. That's not the schools. That's not church. That's not Whitey. That's not Uncle Sam. That's just us because we not teaching it to our kids. And at some point, for us to understand group economics and the blackness, we have got to we black people. Now I got two of my friends and they are pro-black. They're good people, but we don't know it. We don't teach ourselves. Oh no, Rob! I just said I didn't vote for president. I voted in local election because that's what most of us have the most to lose. Because most of us, we below that 6-figure stage. So the local elections are. Hey, Yolanda. Hey, you safe down there in Florida? And the local elections where we gotta vote. Those are the things that affect most of us. Most of the things that the president is doing, most of the things that Obama didn't affect most of us. But what our mayors, Congress people do, the governor, see, these things affect us. So yes, I'm always vote in those elections. So yeah, I'm voting every 2 years in all these local elections. I just didn't vote in the presidential. I didn't vote for president. No, see, you missed the point. See, I never said I'm not Cap. What my issue with Cap is Cap is not a voter, period. See, and people keep hearing what they want to hear. I'm behind his stance I'm a veteran. I fought in a war. I'm cool with him not standing. I'm cool with him not saluting. I'm cool with him not putting his heart over. I'm cool with him using whatever it was he thought. I don't believe his interests are genuine because of what he's not saying. But I don't have an issue with him. My issue is with people boycotting the NFL for social injustice. Boycott churches. Boycott state capitals. Boycott city halls. If you want something to change, the NFL has no bearing on cop shootings. How do I know what? Oh, dang. Group economics, Melissa. Look at the top of the page. Go to the show page and like my show. And blackness. If we want change, you got to go where change can be effected. Group economics. Let me tell you guys about the bus boycott, because everybody keep wanting to tell me about it, but they don't do any research into it. The bus boycott took over 2 years to plan and put into effect. It wasn't a snap thing, because if you read up on it and you know the history, Rosa Parks was not even the first one. The first victim that they had, we didn't like her because she was a teenager who was pregnant and she didn't fit the description. How do I? Because he's not a registered voter, Robert. So if he's not a registered voter, he can't vote in no election. That's logical. You can't vote if you're not registered. He's not a registered voter. Hey, Carmichael. Yeah, because y'all so fast. Quit looking at my legs. Oh, hot in the pants, girls. All right. So my issue with the NFL boycott, and I see y'all got me going to Ernest Thing. I said I wasn't. And she was, Ernest, is that how is boycotting the NFL going to change any court decision? How is it going to make any law enforcement department change its policy about how it deals with people of color, minorities, or anything? It's not. So if we want change, because we are quick to give up when we don't see change, you can boycott the NFL from now to the end of time. How's that going to change police brutality? The minute somebody can explain that part to me, I'm going to go for it. So, once again, and I advocated this on my page, boycott City Hall, state capitals, courtrooms, police chiefs, the sheriff's office. These are the people that can affect change immediately, who change how we do business, how we looked upon. You're not going to no NFL game, ain't going to affect none of that. What it's going to affect, and this is where I use my comparison to the boys' boycott. What it affects is the mom and pops who depend on the NFL season, next to NBA and Major League Baseball, to make money to provide for their families. The owners got a CBA. They're going to get paid regardless. People say, oh, if they lose, the NFL is 70% black. Its viewership, I think, is 85% white, something like that. So if we all got together and everybody said we're not going to watch, we don't put a big dent in it. Plus, they're guaranteed money. Right, if we're going to boycott something, let's boycott their sponsors. Understand this. The NFL, Ernest is right, is a non-profit organization. Y'all, Ernest, tell them what that means in a bigger sense, because I don't think they hear me. I don't think they understand what it means. So when we're boycotting the NFL, and we're going to boycott until they take Kaepernick back, if they take him back, and Collins already said that he going to stand from now on, so I'm doubly confused, because he's already said he going to change his way to get back into the system if he gets back. I'm confused. The man you supporting already saying he gonna ditch y'all if he ever get his job back. So if we wanna do damage, boycott his sponsors. Boycott the NFL sponsors. They're the ones who will feel a direct impact. DirecTV will feel theirs in the next 3 weeks if everybody kill their DirecTV package. They'll feel it. Bud Light, Budweiser, all these other places, Nike. Lord forbid, y'all ain't finna boycott Nike, so I don't know why I said that. So if we want to do group economics and we want to be heard, we got to boycott the people that's already guaranteed to pay these other people. And that's what I'm saying. I have no issue, I really don't, with Kaepernick's stance. I have an issue with him and some of the things he says and doesn't say. I ain't even figuring about drinking Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola can burn battery acid off your car cable, I ain't never figure out why people would even drink it, but that's a whole nother issue. So, it's 6:53. So when we're doing group economics, we have to pick ways that can affect the system. Gatorade is another sponsor. I'm just putting them down. You know, he put them on the wrong page, but I'm gonna let him have that a little bit because he owned it. If you come to my page later, I'm gonna let Ernest put all the sponsors down because I know he did it before. If you want to affect change, these are the people you need to attack. Gatorade, Nike, Coca-Cola, DirecTV. Y'all watch the commercials. Y'all see that? Y'all see it. But realistically, if sports is taking our kids out of the ghetto, is sports really what we want to boycott? Because everybody, unfortunately, ain't built for real business. Some people are built strictly for athletics. But let's ask ourselves a question. Group economics. Why are we fighting for millionaires? Group economics. Richard Sherman is talking a good game, but has he threatened to sit a play? Has he threatened to sit a series? Shannon Sharp talks a great game, but has he said in honor of Colin Kaepernick stands for 5 minutes, I'm not going to say nothing? No, these people not putting nothing on the line. They're not finna risk their money, but they want you to go out and hurt your own people. But who in the NFL is fighting for themselves? I mean, like I said, they all talking a good game. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stand with them, but ain't nobody threatening to sit out. See, if they wanted to change, they would sit out. See, this is why employees boycott companies. They don't ask other people to do it for them. They realize that by not coming to work, their company is immediately affected. For us to immediately affect the NFL, let's get these 70% black players, because the NFL is 70%. Let's get them to say, hey, we're not going to show up the first quarter. No. See, Rob, you ain't paying attention to what I say. You arguing me for the wrongest of reason. The protest was to start debate. What was the debate? But instead of having debate, we allowed them to pervert the conversation by telling you he didn't vote and other BS. Well, see, and this is what I don't get. How people can say a fact is BS. And this is where I have a problem with black people. Whenever somebody introduces a fact, because this is not an opinion, the fact is he's not a registered voter. So how is that BS? See, and that's when we get so caught up in wanting to fight for something that we allow ourselves to be subverted because we don't want to acknowledge any fact. That's a fact. It's just like with the bus boycott. And people want to talk about it, and I appreciate them, but know the fact. Rosa was chosen because of how she looked. There was a young teenage pregnant girl who was the first one that had this happen to her that they didn't want because she did not fit the description and she was dark skinned. See, that wasn't Whitey. That was us. That's a fact. See, that's not changing the subject. Everything matters. To fight the fight, you have to know how many ways you can be swung at. See, and that's what I'm saying. When you get facts, all facts matter. All facts. Why boycott the NFL? Because that's not going to change any judicial decision anywhere. Anywhere. And if you think that talking about NFL for 6 months is going to change it, then how is it that sitting at a courthouse, because you ever notice it's always cameras at courthouses, they always want to know why people doing stuff. Why is it important that you know a lot of stuff, Robert? You don't have to want to know anything, but if you fail to want to admit facts when people hit you with a fact, you become defensive, which is what you do with me. Because I've already said I don't have a problem with what he did, but you don't want to help any fact. The fact is he's not a voter. The fact is he's not a voter. And if you're not a registered voter, a lot of you're just a regular bitcher. It's like people complain. Once again, it's like me complaining to Walmart because I ain't having enough sex. What can Walmart do about it? Nothing. What can the NFL do about social injustice? The NFL is 70% black. 70%. What does that matter? It's 70% black. It matters a lot because that's where money comes from. Money makes the world go around, whether we want to accept it or not. Why am I fighting for a millionaire who ain't fighting for me? He's already. Does it matter that he said if he get a contract, he gonna stand up? Of course it does. But maybe to you it don't. But that's your opinion. But the fact is, he said that if he gets back, he will stand up. So you don't have to want to know no fact. You can take what you want and run with it blindly. Like when people talk about Rosa Parks, they run with it blindly, not knowing that the SCLC was just as racist as everybody else they was talking about. That's a fact. What opinion? Facts are not opinions. Robert, facts are not opinions. The fact that you sing is a fact. Whether you're a good singer or a bad singer is an opinion. But the fact that you are a singer is a fact. They ain't changed my opinion on him. I did the research to figure out why. It's just like with Jesse Jackson, with Al Sharpton, with anybody who stepped up to be a leader. I want to know why. Is it for financial reasons? What's their purpose? Because everybody who says they're an advocate ain't not for the good of us. Lots of people love Jesse Jackson. Lots of people still love Jesse Jackson even after he made the comments about Obama. I don't have nothing to do with that. But the fact is he made derogatory comments and he didn't like him. That's a fact. What does that got to do with anything? Nothing if you don't like facts. Nothing. If all you want to do is just run with what you heard, which is what we like to do, none of it matters to anybody. Can't change a fact, Robert. And I don't let facts change my opinion, which is why most time when y'all ask me something about police stuff, and I never post police videos on my page, good, bad, or indifferent. I don't post any videos. But most people who ask me something, I always tell them the same thing. Give me 2 weeks. Let more information come out. Because what you get snap judgment is all emotional and not fact driven. It's based off a video impartiality. Because you're just getting the first side. Give it a minute, let more facts come out. Then you can make an informed decision based on more information. Some of the police shootings were totally legitimate. They look bad, they were still legitimate. Some were gross negligent, akin to murder. Some even look good to the untrained eye. As a former trainer and as a former police officer, I can tell you things that I saw that factually were totally wrong. Conversely, factually that were totally by the book. Whether you like them or not, all I'm giving you is fact. Once again, when I told people about Zimmerman, when everybody asked me, and I told them, factually speaking, based on Florida law, there's nothing that can be done about him. Everybody was mad. Facts are facts. Now, how I felt about it was different. But I'm not here to, wasn't what I was stating to the people who asked me were facts. Those are simple. Whether I like them or not, I gotta always deal with facts first. Now, I can make an uninformed decision because that's my right as a human being, because we do it all the time. But when people ask me questions, I give them facts. If you don't like a court decision, people appeal. You know, we got a court of appeals. Georgia Court of Appeals, United States Court of Appeals, Supreme, all that. You know who don't have a court of appeals for social injustice? The NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, all the sports agencies. They got player unions to stand up for them. So why should I be a part of that? These guys pay into it. They signed an agreement for certain things. So anything that they get is something that they already negotiated for. They gave Roger Goodell total power. They gave it to him. So when we argue about it, and I'm going to still stay with this, even though I ain't supposed to be talking about the NFL. Thank you, Ernest. The NFL is not who our beef is with. Our beef is with the court system. Our beef is with the judicial system. We change those by voting. They don't care about whether or not we go to any NFL game. You see the hurricane and all the looting? NFL ain't got nothing to do with that. The people that's going to go to jail, NFL ain't got nothing to do with that. The companies that up their prices, that were price gouging, $100 for a bottle for a case of water. The NFL can't do anything about that. So why are we boycotting sports when our focus should be on the people that can make change? Once again, Robert, that's how you feel. It has to do with everything. His protest is what, Robert? So you don't want to acknowledge the fact that he even said that he won't sit down anymore. And if we basing it purely on racism, which y'all are, why is Marshawn Lynch still playing? They brought him back. Bennett playing. Look at the facts. Cap was just an unfortunate person who, and if you know more history, see, there's some other things that I know that are based on my opinion that I don't go into because I'll let people do their own research. They didn't use, what propaganda did they use? Right, most people didn't even know he was. Most people never knew he wasn't a registered voter. Most people didn't know till I told them. And you got people standing. You got people who won't stand, doing whatever they do. Once again, is that stopping people from getting killed? That's my only question. And if we're trying to affect change, the NFL is not the place. Once again, it's a fight that we're destined to lose. We're fighting the NFL to change the judicial system. That's a fight we're going to lose. And we already know black people have no staying power. This is proven throughout time. We cannot stay focused on anything longer than 3 or 4 months. The law in Florida that allowed Trayvon Martin to be killed is still on the books. You know why? Because we moved on to something else. Nobody stayed consistent with that. And a man died. Robert, you keep putting your opinion, and I'm cool with your opinion. But you saying things that he won't say, and he won't speak up, and that's fine, Robert. If he wanted to start a debate, he could have done a lot of other ways. There are lots of town hall meetings he could afford himself to. There's shows he could have went on and did interviews. Lots. Has he done them? Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed where he went on 30 for 30. Maybe I missed where he went on the Nova channel. Maybe I missed where he went on CNN. Did I miss these? Or did I miss where we keep speaking for him and saying what he meant, what he want to do? We keep saying these things. Is he doing live feeds telling people what he wants? Or is he just tweeting? Since he now has a following and people standing behind him, where is he now? So, and this gets into the, exactly. Now he's totally quiet. So, my belief, see, now I can't prove this part. And this is where I don't push people. I just tell them what I know to be fact. But it's no secret that he's quiet. Now, when we start getting into the blackness, and this is where the blackness is about awareness, not color. We want people to understand. And Ernest is a good example. Tommy is a good example. Leonard is a great example. We've beefed about a lot of things, and we brought enlightenment to each other because we don't always have to agree. My problem is with black people who, as soon as you disagree with something, they want to start the name calling and challenging you. And anybody who's ever debated with me will tell you I stick strictly with facts during a debate. Because how I feel versus how you feel, yeah. Whether I feel he's a good quarterback, whether Ernest, it's all debatable. Those are opinions. Since none of us own a team, and somebody made a comment that blacks don't own NFL teams, and I asked them how many blacks have tried to buy NFL teams. So don't say the league won't let them buy one. Most blacks don't aspire to own NFL teams. Did you hear Jim Brown say he wanted to own one? Have you heard any of these black Richard Sherman, I think he talked about one time maybe buying a new one when he retires. But most don't talk about it. Most players don't talk about wanting to own teams. So we put up distractions that aren't there. But why is it? Why is it? Because I want people, if you feel like the boycotting is the best thing for you, go for it. All I'm saying is know when you're hurting lower income people. And we can have multiple forms of attack. I ain't gonna swear away from what I know to be true. See, I've seen change come about when police chiefs, when sheriffs are challenged, when mayors and city councilmen and governors are challenged. But right now, guess who's riding the freedom train so we don't have to be accountable to nobody? These elected officials, they're elected. Because nobody's saying anything to them. Because, oh yeah, everybody's focused on the NFL so we can get away with whatever we want to because ain't nobody going to challenge us. They so focused on boycotting the NFL, even with their free time, they're not checking into the law. Okay? And that's a truism. Because when the police chiefs have been tasked with why their agencies are corrupt or whatever, and they get threatened with federal investigation, guess what they start doing? They start changing policies. And of course, it's never public knowledge because people don't ask, because it is if you do an Open Records Act. That's all you got to do. And you'll see what the old policy was versus the new policy. How they're changing based on lawsuits, based on declarations, based on Open Records Act. Because now they can be sued. Someone can be jailed. And they can have stuff taken from them. So if you want change, if I'm unhappy in my relationship, what can Ernest do about it? What can Paris do about it? What can Tommy or Michelle do about it? If I'm unhappy in my relationship, I can start a debate with any of these guys, and we can sit down and talk about like people do on Facebook. But if my girlfriend don't see it, even if she sees it, she's like, oh, he talking to them. I don't care. I ain't going to change nothing because he ain't said nothing to me. And that's what we're doing. It's cute to sit there and say, oh, we not going to do this. We not going to do that. But if I want change, Mantellis, my man. Mantellis is one hell of a mechanic. He's a mobile mechanic. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a mechanic who has a shop. But when I need something urgently and I'm somewhere else, Mantellis is my man. Okay? Black business. He don't have a business card either. He operates on word of mouth. We only worry about voting for the president. Change starts with votes on the lower levels. And if we don't get that, we ain't gonna never get it. The water's still dirty in Flint. We talking about football. We talking about boycotting football. How long the water been dirty in Flint? Quite a long time. How long Trayvon Martin been dead? Quite a long time. What have we done about it? We raised hell for 2-3 months. If that long, then we moved on to the next subject. NFL season is 5.5 months long. So people going to boycott and not do this. And the next time somebody get killed, what's going to happen? Oh, I didn't watch the games. I don't know why that didn't stop stuff. That's not how the system works. But if boycotting it is all you can do, that's on you. But don't underestimate. If you're going to boycott them, you had to have something to give them in the first place. Most people who boycotting didn't provide no income to them in the first place. If you didn't have season tickets, a PSL, you not watching on TV don't affect the NFL. It don't affect nobody. It's prepaid money. But when we start talking about the blackness, let's get into this. Why is it that if somebody gives you an alternative to something, because if you don't want to watch, I ain't told nobody they should or should not. I explained why I wouldn't. And I gave a detailed explanation. I got 800 comments, whatever. Because one of the greatest things one of my sheriffs ever told me, anybody can complain. Anybody can tell me what I'm doing wrong. But if you can't give me a plan of how to fix it, you might as well shut up. So when I said why I didn't like what the plan was, I gave a detailed explanation of what could be done. The same I did when Black Lives Matter was talking about boycotting Home Depot, Walmart, Coca-Cola, and something else. What up, Will? Did you talk to our brother? Our local officials are worse than federal level. It's a crapshoot. Good cops know who true bad cop. And Robert, that's got to be the dumbest statement. Bad cops don't do stuff in front of good cops. And it's cute. People who say that are not even in the system. I'm going to tell you who know who bad cops are. Street people. Because bad cops do things to them. But because they believe what you just said, they never tell good cops. See, once again, without naming names, I can tell you people who've come to me. I've been responsible for 5 cops going to prison because somebody came and told me. But had they not told me, the person that they told me, I never knew anything about. I had my suspicions, but I had no proof until somebody came to me. You look in DeKalb County, where the little prostitute came forward about her being raped. Was it DeKalb? I think it was in California too. How did that happen? Because she finally came forward. They did the investigation. See, your statement is so governmental because that's what people want you to believe, and street people are the worst at that. But especially here in Georgia, where Pac-Man went to prison, Reebok went to prison, the guys from Neal Street went to prison because it's not allowed. It's definitely not allowed here in Georgia. The DeKalb County cop that was going to Coweta County killing people in prison. Because Georgia is probably one of the most progressive states when it comes to corrupt cops. But we don't want to acknowledge any of that. Any of that. But factually speaking, you can't put no fact behind your bogus statement, Robert. And I will call you out on that one. Because there's too much history in this state, where cops are notorious for going to jail. And not just jail, prison. All bad behavior. So I'm not sure where you got that information from, but that's that street stuff. Because see, let me just tell you this. When a good cop finds out and has facts, we can take that further. But if somebody just say, oh yeah, so-and-so dirty, that's how you know, oh, he just is. See, ain't no cop gonna run with that because that's not fact. Our job is based on factual information, not feelings. When you give me a fact, I know where to go with it. I know where to go. I know what to do. What's up, Odessa? You feeling better? Are you still on woozy time? So for you to say that, hold on, let me just. Our local officials are worse than the federal. It's a crapshoot, and it's never a crapshoot. Good cops know who true bad. Why would good cops know who bad cops are? We don't run the same circles. We don't hang out together. We don't party together. So how would you make that statement? Because I'm sure you've never been a cop. And can you tell me a good cop, bad cop combination that you know of, that you've seen them do things together, where one cop did something bad and the other cop was like, because that makes 2 bad cops. Or you just spewing bullshit. Because it don't go both ways. Because a bad cop ain't going to do nothing in front of a good cop because he knows no good cop is going to risk his reputation. He ain't going to risk going to jail. He ain't going to risk giving up his worldly goods. So that's one of the few statements that agitates me when people talk bad or they want to lump good cops with bad cops. That's just like me saying every black person knows when somebody else black. You saying fact, Robert, but give me a fact that you're basing it on. Tell me what good cop let a bad cop do something. See, when I give you stuff, I can tell you where to go to find it. But all you telling me about is movie shit. Because no good cops is ever going to stand for that. Ever. Ever. See, we don't have a snitches get stitches. See, that's why you have movies like Serpico. That's why you have movies where we turn on each other. And yeah, cops say, oh, I don't want to say nothing. They don't know nothing. Oh, I feel like somebody. If you basing your thing on a feeling, you're a bad cop already. Because I can't lock people based up on the way I feel. I can't present a case based on how I feel. I can give facts. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't always a good cop. I was shady. I've done things. I violated rights to get the job done. But nobody knew what I was doing. So for you to sit here and say that we know, and you facts, give me a fact, Robert. You can call me offline and give me a fact. Because I'm going to call bullshit on that one. See, that's just like when people got family members who killers and nobody knew. Oh, so you mean to tell me that your brother or uncle was killing somebody you didn't know? Everybody don't know because people don't do shit around people they can't get away with. That's life. People don't do stuff to get in trouble. 9 times out of 10. They do this shit stealth. They sneak. So for you to sit here and try to pass that one off, you just as bad as racist. Because that's the shit they'll say. That's a really loose ass statement to try to run with. And I ain't going to let you run with that one. But anyway, we cannot sit back and not like the collective. I was taught this in business, single points of failure. Anytime you try to do something and you only got one way of doing it, you're setting yourself up to fail. Single points of failure, which is why they talk about multiple streams of income. That'll keep you from going broke. Because if you depend on one something to pay all your bills and it's gone, boom. Exactly. You're not going to go out and cheat with a non-cheater. Because even if he don't say something, he's going to stop hanging around you because you put him in an awkward situation. So, man, I need a bigger sip than that. When we talk about group economics, I just said what? If you break a law to get the results you want, then by definition you are what? You're right. And I said I wasn't always a great cop. I broke laws, Robert. I ain't never denied that. When they told me to go find these people who kidnapped the kid, Robert, I broke 3 or 4 different laws. I violated some constitutional rights. I've never denied that. But did you hear what I said? Because obviously you didn't. I said I did it by myself. Nobody else could vouch for what I did. Nobody knew that I broke laws. Nobody, Robert. Nobody. Everybody thought something, but there was nothing anybody could prove because there was no evidence that I did it. The people I did it to couldn't tell. It's kind of like doing an illegal search and find dope on somebody, Robert. If I believe in my heart of hearts that somebody's carrying dope and I stick my hand in their pocket and find dope, what are they going to say? Oh, I had dope, he found it illegally. They already guilty. They're not going to say nothing. But nobody knows. So yeah, see? But Robert, you selectively listen. Because I said that everything I did by myself. You find any cop who knows me and they'll tell you. 9 times out of 10, I was in the car by myself. The few times somebody rolled me, I didn't do shit. I didn't lock nobody up. I didn't do nothing. I didn't let them talk to none of my street contacts or nothing. Nothing. Do I consider myself as a bad cop? There were times that, yeah, that's exactly what I was by definition. Now, if you say, oh, well, the ends justify the means, which is I could have took that route. It's the cute route to take. Because what I did to find these kidnapped kids, Robert, yes, in my world, it was justified. It didn't take away from the fact that I broke the law. So I ain't gonna never pat myself on the back for it. Yeah, when they tried to give me an award for it, I wouldn't take it because I know what I did. But yeah, the fact that I found these kidnapped kids before anything came to them, everybody thought I was the best thing since sliced butter. But nobody knew that I broke the law. Nobody. So who was going to tell on me, Robert? See, and that's the thing. So you keep wanting to hear what you want to hear. But every time I said the same thing, I was by myself. When I found the guy who had committed 3 murders, what I did to find him was borderline. But I didn't kill people to find him. I did break a law to find him. I did enter some apartments illegally. I have no problem with that. Nobody was there with me. Nobody was there to say, oh, this is what D did this. Nobody was there. So who could have told on me? So when you got truly bad cops, the ones that stealing, raping, and robbing, they doing the same thing. I just use my Evil powers for good, for lack of a better term. But it don't take away from the fact that I was still wrong. Would I say I was a bad cop? I was too close to the line either way. I do believe that the best cops are the ones who got criminal in them because they know how to use the system to their advantage. Crooks are crooks. I done never used my power to steal from anybody. See, you can find dope boys who can say, I found a dope boy. Oh, God. He had 10 grand on him. No drugs. Hurt my heart to let him walk away. But I let him walk away with his money. He tried to walk away from me and leave the money. Nah, pimpin', you got to take this money. Oh, I get to keep it. This time you do, because I don't have a legal reason to keep it now. Had you had drugs, oh yeah, I would have kept it. But you don't. I was 10, 15 minutes too late. I'm not corrupt. I'm not crooked. Am I borderline bad? Was I borderline bad? Yes. Crooked? No. Was I going to kill people? No. Was I out trying to take advantage of people for personal gain? No. But again, the point was, who knew? Nobody. Not one single soul. So, to your effect that other cops know, who would have known? But everybody can tell you stories about me that they formulated because nobody was there with me. Oh man, how you get him? How you get him? We got a whole SWAT team out looking for this guy. I used some connections. I played with the system because I knew how. But who knew? So I'm going to keep debunking your point. Bad cops don't do stuff in front of good cops. I was surrounded by, I know some great cops. And I would never, it's like, can we ride with you? No. No, you can't ride with me. A bad cop is a bad cop alone or with his crew. You keep saying this crew, Robert, who knew? And that's why I keep calling you out. I ain't saying it ain't no bad cops. All I'm saying is good cops don't know because they don't do stuff in front of them. But what you do is you keep trying to say the same thing and change facts. I ain't changing facts. I ain't changing the fact. Bad cops act alone or with other bad cops. They never act with good cops. Never, ever. Never, ever. And I've been a cop, so I can speak from experience. Not from what somebody told me, not from what I heard, not from what I saw on TV. I can speak from experience. I can speak from experience and having been on witness stands for information that I gathered to prove my point. Because I had to do an investigation. I had to do research to make sure the information that I was given was factual. Once I found it to be factual, I took it to the GBI. The rest was history. But once again, when we don't like stuff, as opposed to listening to the reasons, we start going into selective hearing because we want people to solely support what we do. And that's where the blackness starts going astray because we don't want to have any other, we don't want to value any other opinion. Leonard Bedford is my man. And Leonard Bedford, I had to agree with him 2 times and I went to sleep because I don't ever want to agree with Leonard Bedford, ever. Leonard Bedford could say today is Wednesday, my show is from 6 to 8, and I would say it's not, just because that's the way we argue. But it is what it is. Thank you. How are you doing, Colleen? Make sure you go to hit the link, like the page, leave me a review. Random Thoughts with DVP. That's who this is. Oh, see, y'all done got me so flushed, and I ain't even typed my tie in a minute. I'm going to stick with the purple theme just for y'all. So, anyway, when we start combining to make things better for our people, we have to look at multiple ways of doing it just in case one doesn't work or everybody can't commit to that one. People got different thoughts. I know it, but you don't want to debate, Robert. You don't like facts. You just like opinions. But you live out here close to me. We're going to do lunch. Grady, you still there? I know I'm going too fast for you again, but anyway. Did you inbox me your number yet, Robert? Riding the Scales, what's going on? Riding the Scales is another black business that I support. He does CascadeLimo.net. Got a Phantom. Got a 300 that ain't nothing to play with. Y'all like that? Bam. That's the bow tie. Just like that. Hey, Larry Battle, what's going on? What time is it? It's 7:25. Oh yeah, I got enough blue to last me 30 more minutes. So, once again, when we start doing the attack mode, we don't all have to attack from the same venue. We need to attack at multiple levels. I'm going to let Robert attack from the NFL level. I want my crew to attack the judicial system. I'm going to take Mantelis. I'm going to take Chuck. I'm going to take Paris and all the rest of them. And I'm going to say, hey, you go to City Hall. You go to State Capitol. You go to Fulton County Sheriff's Department. You go to APD. You go to Cobb County. This is where we're going to start setting up branches. Because what most people don't like, people who are responsible don't like being called out. And it works. I'm telling you what I know. It works. I ain't gonna say I'm the best driver because I can't drive the 300, but I'm working on it. It works because once you take me out of the responsibility loop, I'm glad when the focus is on somebody else. Because now people ain't looking at me. They not. See, and once again, this is why when I did do my powers, I didn't do them for personal gain. I did them for a greater cause. And I understood what I was doing. I was prepared to be suspended in pursuit of my journey because it was worth it on my system. I didn't want to take nobody with me because if I was going to get suspended, I shouldn't take somebody down with me even if I thought what I was doing was the right thing for a greater cause. It was my system. It's not fair for me to take other people. So anyway, when we get to this, it's the same thing. We're doing group economics and blackness. We can all work together for a singular cause from multiple vantage points. We don't all have to attack head on. Somebody can try the head. Best fight program going. I tell everybody this when I was a cop. If we got to get into a fight, depending on who I was with, 9 times out of 10, I was the better fighter. As the better fighter, I want to fight up top. All I require my partner to do is that the fight start, grab his legs. That's all I need to do. I can take care of the rest. We don't both need to go up top because we're going to end up fighting each other as he's swinging. If you go down low, all I got to do is make sure I don't step on you. I can take care of this. All right? There was a couple of times I was with my guard brother, Chuck. Chuck is a much better fighter than me. He's stronger than me. So if me and Chuck got into a fight with somebody, Chuck knew I was going low. Chuck was better than me at a certain level. My dad is better than me. If we going to multi-fight, I'm getting the bottom, you get the top. Same goal is to get this guy down. But we can't both win up here. It's easier for him to defend both of us up here than it is once we split his body in half. Okay? Now, some people believe in splitting left and right, and that's fine. Everybody got to know the system. All right? And so when we want to attack and get things better for us, it's okay to have multiple ways of doing it. This works for us as a race, and it also works for us economically, because once we can make the system better, then it's easy for us to start promoting each other. Because now we start having commonality, we start blending groups. Now my group becomes part of Ernest's group, becomes part of Robert's group, becomes part of Tommy's group, and we can sit back, and I talk about this all the time. If we have, everybody has their own circle. Hey, Fluffy. And when you get the leaders from that circle to go to the next level to meet, and all the circle leaders meet, and they disseminate information, and they take it back to their collectives. And this is how the best way to beat the system. Because if everybody's doing the same thing, once it fails, the whole system crumbles. The whole system. If you ever notice, when people build houses, they don't build one side at a time. They lay a foundation, and everybody start. That way, keep it level. Because if you have everybody working over here, once it falls, there's nothing to keep this from falling. You got to start like this and then put a brace up. This will stabilize the system. And this is what we have to do if we want to be heard. We got to quit talking about it and be about it. We got to quit claiming our royalty and then claiming victim in the same sentence. We have to quit. And we have to, what our grandmama say? We can't keep saying what somebody else do. If everybody jump off the bridge, you're going to jump. But let's say we have blacks in high places and they ain't saying nothing about it. Right, Robert. That's where voting comes in. Everybody who's black ain't with us. Everybody who's white is not against us. We have to look at their body of work. We have had plenty of black leaders who didn't care nothing about us, but they rolled us because they were black, and we voted for them simply because. That to me is just as racist as people who voted for 45. And that's my point. Cynthia McKinney got censored But she spoke out against George Bush about his bogus war. Everybody said she was crazy. Everything she said turned out to be true. But even black people turned against her because she was fighting against Bush. And most of what she had at the time, she didn't have hard facts. She just had a gut feeling and some simple facts. But Cynthia McKinnon was one of the best people who spoke out for us. Hosea Williams, great at it. He got his issues, but as far as him caring about the plight of black people or people who are underprivileged, it didn't get no better than Jose. Now, the fact that he drank had nothing to do with that. But you couldn't ignore the fact. But it had nothing to do with him doing what he did. So when we start doing things, we have to find out or put people in who can help us. And when I was talking to, I talked to people who say they have systematic racism, how long it's been going. Well, why don't y'all get together and send one of y'all kids to school and educate them and vote them in as mayor? Because mayor is an elected position. Mayors put in police chiefs. You have to understand how the system works. This is why we have to become more educated on voting. Great, I done changed ties and everything. You missed it all. I'm still sticking with the purple theme because they like the purple. It don't go with the blue, but it's purple. That blue, oh my goodness. I hope you're watching, Graydon. Ray Mills was happening. So when we doing the group economics or even the blacks, we have to stay focused, but everybody doesn't have to believe in the smaller picture. The big goal is what we got to agree with. Okay? And Colin Powell said that just because we look alike don't mean we all the same. Thank you, Odessa. I got 30 minutes left. Because we all look like we're not all the same. Once again, Jesse Jackson. I don't care for him. I know people who do. I got friends who do. I don't knock them. We don't talk about it. If they talk about him, then I'll present my facts, like I do with Farrakhan. They say they don't say good stuff, but they don't speak for me. People talk about Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis don't speak for me. So, but we all got people who we admire, whether they're good or bad or indifferent. I got people who on Facebook, we're not even friends like that. But some of the stuff they say, oh man, off the chain. I'm so down with them. Never met them. But I'm down with them because they got a plan. Now, I don't agree with every aspect of their plan, but that's not mandatory. What's mandatory is that we agreeing on a bigger picture. They got a mode of attack. I got a mode of attack. I was just talking about that on a page with another friend. Everybody got to do what they feel most comfortable with. But don't knock my hustle. I won't knock yours. But if we sit there and we play pros and cons, we got to speak on it so that when we get hit with the fight, we're prepared for whatever somebody's going to bring to us. One of the best things I learned from being on the task force, before we raided people, and we doing people who got big money and got real attorneys, before we do a raid, we have a little rap session. And what's supposed to happen in a rap session, everybody's supposed to try to pick your plan apart. You never take it personal. Because if you can handle them picking your plan apart, if you can handle it and defend your plan, then you on the path to success. If when they hitting you with stuff, if you keep getting upset or defensive about it, that means your plan ain't no good. Because if your plan is based on the law and fact, you can withstand anything they doing to you. And that's what I want us to understand. I'm offended by the N-word. And I ain't no punk. Nigga should never be used as a term of endearment. Nigga is a derogatory term, and it's not racial. It don't matter. If somebody's doing some dumb shit, it's nigga shit. Period. I'm cool with that. But when it becomes a term of endearment, and I got friends who use it, and they know how I feel about it, they don't use it with me. And all I can do is respect them for that. Like they respect me. Because I know when they use it, they don't mean any disrespect. It's just the way they talk. But I don't want it to be the way they talk to me because I don't want somebody else to come up and say it to me and think that they can get away with it. So they respect my wishes, I respect their wishes. Life is simple. It's the same process. When we want to do something, we want to come together. One of my friends is not a texter. When I need something from him, I have to call him. That's a system. When he needs something from me, he got to text me. If you need me, I don't want to talk. Text me. But if I want something from him, he ain't going to answer my text. So if I need him, if I truly need him, I know I got to call him. It's supply and demand. we got to stop being so sensitive about people who challenge the way we think, the way we do business, or even the way we're contemplating. Because if our system can stand the test of time, and I'm in this for the long haul, I got to be able to withstand shots at me. Which is why I tell people, I know when it's personal, when it's business, when it's fact. There's some things factual that I'm guilty of. When people tell me about my opinions, well, I don't give opinion when I'm doing debate. Ernest just check back in. Ernest feel one way about Randall Cunningham. I feel one way about him. Either way, it's opinion. Until we start talking about his stat line, those are facts. Where he ranks versus other quarterbacks are facts. Whether he could play or not is my opinion versus Ernest's opinion. Is how good or good he wasn't. Those are facts. The fact that I think one quarterback is the greatest of all time, that's an opinion. I can give up stats to bolster my argument, but it's still my opinion whether or not he's the greatest. Hey, Jeanette. Sandra. L.A. Pink. How are you? You got anything to match this? I just got on basic silver today. Kind of go with the beard. I got 2 shows coming up. I need to holler at you tomorrow. If I get these parts, I'm gonna need you. So, but that's all I'm saying is don't be offended when people don't agree with you wholeheartedly. Find out why factually and see where y'all have commonality. This is how we become a greater union. Because if I'm in a room with everybody that agrees with me, why do I really need them? Who's challenging me in my intelligence at that point? And I'm not saying I need somebody just to challenge me for the sake of challenging me, but I need for somebody to give me an outside opinion. It's the reason I got friends on Facebook, 1 who I know are racist, 2 who I know support 45. But if I don't know how they're thinking, how can I combat them? I can't just talk to y'all because most of y'all are against him, but y'all don't know what he's doing. I have friends who are deep into politics. They educate me. Some are Republican, some are Democrats, some fall in between. I need them to educate me. I need them to disagree with me and explain to me why. Too many of us, we only want groups of people that just sit there and nod their heads with us, but they're not educating me. And that's our downfall, is that we want people in our circle who are so much like us that we're afraid to step outside the box into something different. That is what's going to hurt us. We got to find what's different so that we can become better. If I don't know what my weaknesses are, how can I ever become a stronger person? I can keep pushing up my strengths and trying to push them to the forefront. But somebody who's good at this is going to ignore my strengths and look for my weaknesses. Because that's what I do. When I battle people, when I debate people, I'm not going to debate them head for head where I know their strong suit is. I'm going to take the patriot way. I'm going to find your weakness. And when I get you to defend your weakness, then I'm going to come over the top with my strength. Because my strength may not be what your weakness is, but that's the easiest way to get you swayed or to stop defending what you're proud of. So when we're doing group economics, we're doing the blackness thing, and we're trying to uplift each other. We're trying to get a social system that works for us. I tell people, if you don't understand the legal system, ask me a question. You may not like my answer, but please believe it's based in fact. The law says, let me get close. Am I close enough for y'all? The law says it's illegal to have sex if you're not married. This is the law. And if you're married, it has to be face to face. That is the law. Now, I only said that to say this. Based on the law, that you can only have sex if you're married. How does welfare exist? Because welfare is for unwed mothers. To be an unwed mother means you had to commit a criminal act. So, unless, this is just legal now. This ain't my personal feeling. I'm just giving you an example. So, based on the law, unless you're a victim of rape, there's no way you should ever be allowed to get on welfare, because you should have been married when you got pregnant. That's the law. How does welfare exist? See, those are factual statements. Now, even though nobody said blue because y'all hate me, does that make sense to everybody? Should we get rid of welfare because of the law? Or do we really admit that some people need assistance? So the system is what it is. It works for some, it doesn't work for others. We'll let people tell us about welfare, not knowing that most welfare recipients are not people of color. But it sounds good. We let people tell us that blacks are deadbeat dads. But if the majority of welfare recipients are white, what does that tell you? What are deadbeat dads? Marinate on that for a minute. So we can't fight that fight that people will have us fighting because it doesn't exist. But I see people all the time bringing up welfare and deadbeat dads. Now, we do have deadbeat dads, and don't get me wrong, but we're not number one. We're not. Not even close. This is a black issue that we gotta stop. We gotta stop propagating. Stop saying we're deadbeat dads. Most black dads aren't. A lot of them are, but most of them aren't. But if we allow that to be said amongst us, who's hurting us? It's 7:41. I think 3 or 4 of y'all said y'all kids know the Negro National Anthem. How about we start on that? Can we get our kids to learn the Negro National Anthem? And hey, how about this? How about if we start doing the Negro National Anthem at our scholastic events? How about if we start doing the Negro National Anthem at our parks and recreation? Each one teach two. We had it. You was bouncing all over the place, Tommy. I won't be. I have a previous engagement. I won't be able to come to the party. Hey, Melissa, happy birthday. But hey, that's what's up. It's 7:40. Oh my goodness, did I give y'all a shot in my head? 7:45. You are here live with Random Thoughts with DVP, and I am DVP, your host with the most. And I'm having a good time doing this. I don't know, because this new thing, I can't even tell who's on now. I see people posting, but it's telling me only one person, but I see more than that. So, we gotta get together. Robert, we gotta get together. Everybody take their own approach. But when somebody's hitting you with the defects, it's not a bad thing. They just want you to strengthen up your defense. Because if I let you go in unknowing when people hit you with it, you'll become distracted. Attorneys win cases. I learned this from attorneys. When I was winning a case, an attorney told me this. He said, Detective, you're pretty good because you don't get distracted like most people. What's on your 3x5 card? I said, just facts, because I know you'll try to change them. And he wasn't trying to change my facts. When my facts were on point, what he did was attack my credibility to get me off the case. But whether I was a good cop or not didn't change the fact that his client did something illegal. And that's what a lot of people try to do. They try to make you switch gears and lose focus. And we fall for it, which is why the law in Florida is still the same. They let Trayvon get killed. Some of the police chiefs who've had multiple killings in their jurisdiction, they're still there because nobody's ever challenged them. Nobody's ever said, because we lose focus. If it don't happen around election time, we don't remember. So they don't really have to worry about it every 4 to 6 years, depending on, I think the mayor's elections are every 4 years. So every 4 years, when the mayor got a chance to do a police chief, because the mayor's responsible for him. The mayors are responsible for appointing police chiefs. Your sheriffs are elected officials. They're elected. So if you can vote in your local elections, these are the people that you have say-so over. So as we do group economics and black, and we get together with the blackness, we need to know who we're electing and why. Do they have an open door policy? Will they let us sit in? Do they believe in citizen review boards? What's their use of force strategy? How's their training going? Do they let people sit in on training to make sure that it's up to speed? These are the things that we need to start checking on if we want the system to get better for us. I'm a trainer. I've had people tell me, hey, Kiana Madison, that you're training our people too hard. You pushing them too much. Well, that's the only time I got is in when we doing the actual training. That's when I need to push them. I can see what they're about. If they can't handle me harassing them and training them, what makes you think they're prepared for the streets? I went to a business yesterday. Well, not yesterday, a couple of days ago. And the guy said, you retired? I was like, yeah. He said, man, these new police, and I ain't got nothing against them, but most law enforcement agencies now want you to have a college degree. Nothing against college people. I swear I really don't have anything against them. A lot of them lack street knowledge. The older cops had street knowledge, so they knew how to deal with people. Before, to be a cop, you had to have some experience in customer service, which meant you knew how to talk to people, which meant you knew how to deal with people who were irate. I'm not knocking college kids, but most of them, if you go straight from high school to college and you've never worked, what's your experience in dealing with hostile people, verbally hostile people? You'll panic. If you've never been put in a situation where your life is on the line, because most of us have had that little incident where we went a little too far, our friends went too far, we was a little bit nervous. College kids don't know that, so the first time they get nervous, all they know is they got a gun. It's fight or flight. They don't know how to talk. They've never been in that stressful situation with anybody outside of their parents. It's the system. I don't have nothing against hiring college kids, but you have to train them a whole lot better than you do street people. The convenience clerk is a better candidate for being a police more times than a college graduate. Those are just simple facts. I was a cop for 22 years. All I had was a high school education. But I knew how to read. I was in the Air Force, whatever it's worth. But I knew how to read. And I knew how to make sound decisions. It's a thing of the past now. How you guys doing? Hey, Valencia. How are you? Catelyn, what's going on? Hey, man, I got stopped by your people the other day. Fred Hardy. I need to talk to you, sir. I'm going to call you tomorrow. How y'all doing? So we almost at the end of the show. I hope y'all got something out of this. Understand, again, I'm not against. I'm a veteran. I knew why I joined the military. I joined so that people could express their freedoms. Whether they stand for the pledge or not, it's their right. That's what I fought for them to be able to express their rights. I do take offense to certain things, but that's personal. I'm not going to support the NFL boycott because I don't see where they can make a change. I don't have a problem with people who want to support it. I just don't like when they start calling people names that don't support it. Why? Just because they don't support it? And I hate to use this analogy, but slavery sucked. But for some people, slavery was the best thing going. Because everybody doesn't have something. So slavery gave them a place to stay. And that's all some people really wanted. Because everybody, no matter how we look at it, everybody don't want to be somebody. Some people want to be walked on. We see them in life all the time. People need to be needed. People come to jail just so they can have friends. Nobody should be in jail. But I can tell you from my experiences, when we did mass releases, where we were forced to let 200-300 people go, I can tell you from experience that I had people fight me for one simple reason. I had a guy look me in my face and said, "Officer, I don't want to leave. Where am I going to go?" "Dude, I don't care. You got to leave here." He said, "What I got to do to stay?" He said, "If I hit you, will you lock me up?" "Dude, don't. And he swung at me. So I got into a fight with a guy. It wasn't even a real fight because he wasn't trying to hurt me. But he didn't want to go. He wanted to be locked up. That's where he felt safest. Doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to most normal people. But you can't judge a man until you walk a mile in his shoes. So that man's best place for him, there was no place like the jail. I can tell you stories about people who came to jail every winter. They got checks. I know a guy who stayed in jail 6 months out the year. Let his Social Security checks come. He would get out of jail right before the summer. He got all them checks from Social Security. He would go out and blow it in 6 months and come right back. He did this for 5 years running. We don't know what's on people's agenda. We don't know a lot of things about them and things that we think are strange because of who we are. Even for people who aren't less fortunate, everybody don't want something. Some people are content with being bottom feeders. We can want what we want for them all the time, and they'll drag us down. And it's a really sad analogy, but I bet slavery wasn't bad for everybody. I don't have to know. Like I said, I've been a cop. I've seen what humanity does to people. I've seen people who want to go to jail. They're not going to do anything. Like I said, the guy who fought me, he never tried to hurt me. But he wanted to hit me, so that I had to lock him up. Because even when he swung at me several times. And I just kept grabbing him saying, stop, dude, just go home. He don't have a home. He don't have nobody to talk to when he get home. He's nothing. But in jail, he's surrounded by 60 people. He can talk to people. He got a shower. He know he going to get fed. It's a sad state. But for him, it was his lifestyle. And for him, it didn't get no better than that. I don't know where we lost him at. I don't know if we can ever gain him back. That's the sad part. But what's even worse is when we don't acknowledge that these people exist and we try to make everybody be more than they are, we doom them for failure. Everybody's not going to be a success story. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So, again, in wrapping up, with that being said, for those people who want to succeed, we got to have a goal to get to the top. If you're combining with other people, everybody don't need to have the same plan, because once that plan fails, what do we all do? We all fall. Somebody's got to have a plan B, C, D, E, F, and G. That way, if one plan ain't making it, we got plans to fall back on. One plan may just hit a lull for a minute and then raise back up. But if everybody's on the same plan, once that step moves, we're all falling. So don't knock everybody who's not in total agreement with you. Look and see if they have any valid points. If they have valid points, then recheck your plan. Strengthen up the weaknesses. Don't just go with what you think. And you got to know, you have to know facts. You have to know facts. As I was talking about the bus boycott, understand this. What made the bus boycott so successful, one of the most successful ventures ever, was the fact that they planned. And what I keep trying to tell about planning is the lower income people who couldn't afford the bus, who couldn't afford the boycott because that was the only way to get to work was on the bus system. They took care of those people. They organized carpools. They got the taxis together. They renting vans and other modes of transportation to get the lower income people to work so they could support the bus boycott. Because if you don't plan for these people to get to work, they can't support your bus boycott. They don't make enough money to miss work. They don't. So they can't support you even though they believe in your cause. If your cause causes my family not to eat, it's a losing cause. So, again, as I'm wrapping this up, there's too many mom and pop organizations at NFL games outside who are doing little cookouts, who run the concession stands. These aren't big businesses. We're not talking about Chick-fil-A. We're not talking about McDonald's. We're talking about people who rent these little spaces out just for the intent of making money and hiring kids. If you boycott, the impact on them is immediate. So now as I put these people out of job, where do they go? Some of them are going to become street kids and they're going to end up in my co-workers' hands because now they got to resort to other means to make money because there are no more legitimate ways because we boycotting something that they thought they was going to be able to do for 5 or 6 months. And that's all I'm saying. And somebody hits you with that, have a plan for that. How you going to help these people to supplement their income? That's all I'm saying. It's 7:54. So y'all know what it is. Hey, Joyce Meredith, how are you? Hey, Pat Bush. Glad you can join me. Click on the link at the top of the page. I need for you guys who are still here with me, if you haven't liked the show page, which is at the top of this feed, Random Thoughts with DVP, and if you got to click on that link, like the page, and if you've been listening to the show for more than 5 or 10 minutes, leave a review. These many stars. These many. All right? Tell me how I can improve the show. Y'all know, I'm almost done with the blue. And it's good. I've tied my tie several times, not as much as I should have. Great, I don't know if you got it yet, but I'm going to tie for the last time. See, I don't do pre-ties, and I don't do clip-ons. But let's get together, Paris. Let's get together. Let's see how we can make this work in different venues, in different strategies. You can't count what? How many minutes that is, or how many times I sip the blue. Hush your mouth. Y'all be trying to make me misbehave. All right, Paris, make sure you hit scales up. I need to holler at you too. All right, 2. And if you got people, these men, Robert. If you got people looking for a job, have them inbox me. We're doing some entry-level security hiring. If somebody need a job, I'm doing interviews tomorrow at the Georgia Department of Labor from 12 to 4. You can inbox me for details. But let's keep it moving. Robert, inbox me your phone number, because you live around the corner, so we need to sit down and chop it up. Let me punch you in the head a couple of times. But y'all know what it is. I done tied the tie, done switched ties on y'all. And for those of y'all was talking trash, yeah, I got on my shorts, but they matched the tie. That's all I'm gonna say. So you know you balling when you get your shorts to match your tie. That's all I'm gonna say. Ain't no need in hating or talking trash. This for you, Tommy. I need to get with you for to re-up. Alright? So, it's 7:57. Y'all know what it is, man. I got to get ready to do something. I can't remember what. Oh, I got to set up for interviews tomorrow. I'm doing interviews. If you got people who need a job, inbox me. I can give them the information. I'm going to be doing interviews, Georgia Department of Labor from 12 to 4. Tracy, what's happening, man? I ain't see you at the hair show. Oh, no, I ain't got nowhere to go. Just some paperwork to do. Like the show page, Random Thoughts with DVP. You know who it is. DVP, I do exist, regardless of what Facebook say. Like the page, give me a review. These many stars, I would appreciate it. The halo is in effect. I'm gonna hit you up. Give me like 30 minutes, Robert. Peas, popcorn, and chicken grease. Y'all know what it is. Tommy, I need you. Tracy, hit that link at the top. Like the page. You came late, man. You on CP time. I need you to be on. Negro National Anthem time. Oh, you talking about the tie crooked? Boy, you finna get in trouble talking about this bad in time. Frida, really? You gonna come at like 2 minutes to show in? Stop playing. You know what? Y'all ain't right. Thanks, sis. I see the heart. Anyway, you're such a hater. Peas, popcorn, and chicken grease. Y'all know what it is. I'm out.